crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Punch the warriors on a glowing screen. 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Sips and shred and set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Sips and shredding set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more go, one more life, trick haze. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. The legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Oh. Score is higher, 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 higher.
Well, that's unfortunate that the mute button was on. I'll start over. I don't care. And that's another reason I'm tapping out. Is I like Meld a lot, but then I don't like it a lot. And until they ever get a studio feature, it's just not going to be good enough. I've got to mute my audio track so that you're not hearing echoes on everything else that's playing. And then if I forget to click the mute, which I did because I'm doing all the production myself as well, I'm talking to nobody. Nobody's hearing me. So I'll start over again. As you can tell by the thumbnail, this is not going to be pleasant. It's also going to be a relatively short one. I am done. And for all the people that have, and I appreciate you, but the people that have been like, hey, are you sure? Oh, come on, we could try another game. We can do that. Y'all are not learning. I've got a poll up there. It'll stay up there for the length of this thing. And damn it, I am amazed right now that 43% of you are talking about doing it again next year. I love you, but you are the problem. You are the cause. There is no excuse in the world anymore for anyone to buy the next title. They have just shoved your face so deep in the pile of shit. And you're coming back for seconds. I don't get you. It's your right. Do what makes you happy, but you are the problem. That being said, I am willing to bet $100 that they are going to experience Mandalorian levels of loss for next year's pre-order and launch. 70% drop, I guarantee it. Because people are done. Absolutely done. And anyone who thinks I'm buying next year's game, and I'm not even playing this year's game. I'm not even playing this one. This is the first time I've had it up in a week and a half. I'm done with this game. Why would I buy another one? Why would anyone? I don't get it. I truly don't get how there's any audience left for this title. I get there's no other choice. It's the only game in town. It's 2K. Although, Take-Two threw their hat in the ring the other day by stating publicly, this game should be better by now. It almost sounds like they're maybe saying, hey, can we talk about it because we know they're up for renegotiations. This is their last year under contract. But you guys keep buying it. What's the incentive for WWE to switch gears? The only way they're going to find another team to, because we're not going to get another company to make another game. That we know. Ultra Pro, dead. Dead. Virtual Basement, dead. Ultra Violence, quit, done, dead. There's nothing on the horizon, guys. The only thing you can possibly do at this point is bankrupt 2K by not buying this damn game next year. And then the WWE will have no choice but to switch developers. Will that fix the problems? Hard to say. Can they get worse? Never say never, but damn, I don't see how. I don't see how. And just to drive the point home, what do? They give us free DLC that we never asked for to begin with. And the DLC they give us is some schmuck that's never been in a wrestling ring. Strauss Dickhammer, whatever the fuck his name is, the CEO. The guy who is robbing us. The guy who's behind all of the microtransactions. They're going to not only put him in the game, but they're going to give him an entrance. And since I don't monetize and I don't give a flying fuck, we're going to play it with the music. I know most people aren't including the music because of their copyright issues. I do not give a shit anymore. I'm done. And you should be too. How in the world anyone is still supporting this franchise? From the WWE to the 2K, TKO, which is the same thing now because there is no more WWE. I keep saying it. There is no WWE. They are gone, disappeared, have been evaporated, and it is TKO using the signia of WWE. And that's it. That is the only thing about WWE that is still in existence is their symbol. Where the hell is this idiot even at? We're only going to watch the entrance. This is how much they don't give two shits about you, about me, about any of their base. The program. They put more into this piece of shit and his fucking entrance, which, by the way, you can't even touch. You cannot adjust his numbers. You cannot adjust his attire. You can't even pull him up in the roster to look at him under Creation Suite. This is literally the only thing you can do is plug him in and play him. And that's it. That is it. And here he is with Frank Sinatra singing My Way. Yeah, that's exactly right. They did it their way, his way.
Making his way to the ring.
Are the fans complaining? Yes. Are they not happy about these battle passes? Yes. Are they not happy about the microtransactions? Yes. But guess what? I'm going to do it my way. The same people that told you you're not playing the game properly. You're going to spend hours unlocking the stuff you paid for. Those people are now inserting this cocksucker. And you're going to buy the game again? Fuck you. You're an idiot if you're buying the game again. I'm sorry, and if I piss you off, you can leave. But you're a fucking idiot if you buy this game again. I don't care what your channel is. I don't care what you do. There's no reason on earth to buy this game from this company ever again. And that is the only control we have left, is to bankrupt these motherfuckers into the dirt. That is the only control we have. You know, I'm likening this to Mandalorian next year, because Mandalorian bombed, and it's going to lose $200 million easily. As much as I'd love to just take... And then look at this outfit he's wearing. From a suit to that. And you can't control any of it. Not a chance in hell. That's as much time as I'm going to ever give it. You'll never see him on my screen again. Never see him on my screen again. Enough. Enough. I don't know. Like I said, you can lead horse to water, as they say. Andrew Roberts in the house. Miracle is here. Prime Time is also in the house. Sean is here. Big JH. See if I can miss anybody here. Keith O'Toole. Got a lot of chat here because you can't hear anything. That's good. See if I have anybody else out there. Simon Zone. There you go. Well, you don't watch TKO, but if you're watching Raw or SmackDown, you're watching TKO. Because WWE is gone. There is no more WWE. Yeah, not only Sinatra, but the song they put in there, My Way. I mean, what? It is the ultimate middle finger that they just gave you. And the thought that for any reason, you can talk about servers are going to be down. First off, the servers for this game will go a whole other year. Number one. Number two, fuck it. What? Tell me about the servers. How does that affect you in any way? Do you play online? And if you do, we're on month 6 now. And from what I've heard, maybe it works now with this patch. So for the last 6 months, you couldn't even play online. As long as you take a knee and you suck the dick, they're going to keep on giving you this. That's all there is to it. If you can't bite the bullet and just say, I'll find something else to do with my time, or I'll fall back on older games, if you can't make that sacrifice, then you're enabling them. And then they're right. They can put this thing out there and say they're doing it their way, and they can rub your face in the dirt, and you're the reason. So if that's fine with you, then do it. He's been in the game as a referee. You know what? I'm going to have to look into that. I mean, all those referees, well, I won't say all, but a lot of those referees that are nondescript. I mean, they didn't put his name on it, I'm guessing, right? I haven't seen the name Strauss on a referee, but then again, I only take 2 or 3 of the ones that I actually know. I use Charles Robinson a lot because of the WCW stuff and all that. So I've never noticed a Strauss in there, but if there is. If I had to choose between this game or NFL football, what would it be? You mean this game is in 2K26, or are we talking about 27? Because I've already made that choice very clear, number one. Number two, I don't have the football game, so it's not a choice to be had for me. And honestly, I gave up on the NFL a long time ago, so I've already got this. I paid for it. This would be my choice under those circumstances. It's not a real good scenario for me to draw a conclusion from, though, based on the situation as it is. Retro, here's the thing. It does not in any way, shape, or form mean your channel is dead. Let's be honest. If I turned around tomorrow and said, you know what, I've had a change of heart, I'm not going to, call it a day on July 3rd, but I'm not using this game anymore. I'm going back to 2K17. Would you guys not still tune in? Pretty sure you would. Or maybe I'm going to go back to, I think 12 when they had create a story mode in there. And I'm going to go with whatever roster I've got, whatever saves I've got, and I'm going to make stories in there, and we're going to have run-in scenes, and we're going to have run-down scenes. And by the way, that game works. The referee doesn't do the run-in and attack you with a belt from behind. It actually works the way it's supposed to, and we can actually have a complete match where, you're into the match, and a certain point in the match that you tell it, it creates the run-in scene or whatever other thing. If I was to switch over to that, I'm pretty sure the majority of the audience, not only would it still be here, I think we'd maybe go up. I think when people see because a lot of these people don't know what used to be in these games. They don't realize what's been taken from you. They haven't given you a damn thing. Inferno match, we had it. We already had it. You just brought it back. Casket match, had that too. You just brought it back. There's nothing, not one thing. 3 Stages of Hell, had it. You just brought it back. You've given us nothing other than Strauss. And you gave him the My Way theme, and you did more time on his entrance than half of the actual roster. Look at, again, how many people did they have to redo their entrance on this year? Because it was so out of date when they launched the game. But not this one. No. No. We're going to make sure this one is perfect. Better than perfect. Primetime, I feel you, brother. And I do think a lot. I mean, I'll tell you something right now. Hold that thought a minute here. I'll see if I can... what am I thinking here? No, not that one. Do I have another one? That will just switch over to the monitor altogether, I guess, then. Hold that thought a second. There we go. Listen, I don't have a big X account or anything like that, but 65 plus this one, so 66 people since yesterday liked my post. And the post was, if you miss it, fuck you, WWE Games, you out-of-touch motherfuckers. And Strauss, what's his name there? Zelnick. No Dick, we'll call him. And that got more likes than anything I have posted in a very long time, and maybe even ever. I'm not sure. I mean, if I get 20 or 30, that's a good number for me. 65 people, most of whom I've never heard of before, so it's not like they're even watchers of the channel. And they all are right in step with that, and that's just a small portion of the overall audience for this game. I'm not one of the big YouTubers, okay? So there's no way, shape, or form that what I'm doing represents a large number. Gosh damn, everything is going to give me shit today. Yeah, Keith, I had posted something on the community chat And we're going to do a show on July 3rd as of now, unless something comes up. I've got a few irons in the fire, so depending on what might occur, if it doesn't change, then that'll be it. And if it does change, it'll probably be the same day, different time, is my guess. But July 3rd is the plan right now for the last stream, and this was a big deciding factor for me. This game, I said I wasn't getting this game, and I made a really poor choice. I didn't get it at launch originally, went over to my cousins and played it, and my mistake was the gameplay itself was not bad at all. As long as you're using the main roster and just playing, which is all we were doing, got a decent game. But I should have tested universe mode. I should have tested a lot of modes. By the way, it appears that they finally fixed the whole facial reset bullshit in Creations. And it's only been 6 months. So for 6 months, you have a created wrestler, but then you have to go in and tweak something, and all of a sudden, bam, as all his facial settings go back to default. All that work is got to be redone. And they knew about it. And it took them 6 months. Not only that, the last patch, they said they fixed it, and it wasn't fixed. So did you test that you fixed it? No, that's where we come in. I'm sorry, man. I am beyond caring if I hurt people's feelings. If you buy this game next year, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, primetime, you'd have to remember SmackDown versus Raw because that's the last time they had good games. And it was THQ. Infrared, my brother from another mother. You found an issue that you had with the Create an Arena. What was the issue? I don't even remember what the issue was. There's so many issues with Create an Arena this year, but I thought they had them all worked out now. I haven't really done a whole lot because guess what? And here's the other thing. I still can't do community creations on my main account. So that's never getting fixed. I've given up on that. Yeah, Retro, as long as you have the saves back there, then you should be good. The only reason I even bother paying for the PSN subscription is because of the cloud save, which now, by the way, with the PS5, it's pretty much mandatory that you have that if you want to save your shit. It's not like the old days where you just throw a thumbstick in there and you can save your files the way you used to. Strauss is the CEO of TKO, which means he's the CEO of the UFC, the WWE, and anything else that falls under that umbrella. He's the top dog. He's the Walt in Walt Disney. Smooth, baby. How will you know if they got their shit together? Are you going to wait it out and let other people find it, test it? Or are you going to take the chance? Because the only reason I did it this year, number one, the gameplay itself was good. I was always impressed with, and the one thing I'll still stand behind is the cameras cuts and all that. I like that. So the presentation of the game is really good. And that's where it ends. That's where it ends. I've heard people talk about my GM being an issue here and there, and maybe now with the patches it's finally working properly, but not for the first 4 months it wasn't. And I'm telling you right now, they have done, every time I look at the notes, I just go straight to universe mode, and sure as fuck, nothing in there about any of the cutscenes being fixed. And I'm not going to keep on testing it anymore because I'm tired of it. But this game and this company was the deciding factor. I was already kind of temping out of this. I feel like I've done everything I can possibly do, and it hadn't been as much fun for me lately. But the biggest thing that took the fun out of it for me is the game and the lack of competition. If there were other companies out there putting games out that didn't suck, then I'd probably be sticking around. And if some company does finally come out with a game that doesn't suck, maybe I'll come back. But all I see on the horizon is 2K, and I'm not doing it anymore. It helped make my decision very easy. You couldn't go back and edit an arena after placing lettering on the stage or barricade. That's one I hadn't heard about before. The arena wouldn't load. Again, I thought they finally took care of all the bullshit with arena mode. Keith, Here Comes the Pain has always been one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's a little archaic, but it's fun as fuck. And the characters don't look bad. I mean, for as old as that game is, they look pretty good, models do. And is it over the top? Yeah, but it's fun. A lot of fun. And I'm still going to do Game On, and I'll still do some Wrestle Chat occasionally. Now, it won't always be wrestling games on Game On, so feel free to stop by and check out what we're doing. But at the same time, I might go back and dust off Here Comes the Pain and do a stream or two on that and some of the other titles. Back when it didn't suck. I have an N64. Yeah, look, guys, I mean, I bought the N64 because everybody and their mother was talking about how great the wrestling games were, and I'm sure for their time, yes, they were. That's not my vibe, okay? I've got the system, I've got the cartridges, and I played them. I've done it here on the channel. It's a little clunky. Again, for its day, it was amazing. But am I going to sit there and build a season around it or something, and there's no cutscenes at all? And no, it's not a for me thing. I might once in a blue moon dust it off and try it again, but for me, it was more the experience of being able to say I did it, so at least I have a firsthand knowledge of what it was all about. TK, 2K is worse than EA Sports. You know what, Prime Time? If there's a competition to be had, then I would have to say, and I think most people, even NBA fans versus NFL fans, I think they would all agree with 2K is the worst. Infrared, I have done everything. I've cleared cache. I've reset the device to factory settings. I had to put all my shit back in. I had to re-download all my games. Nothing worked. And that's when Sony finally stepped up and said, we'll give you your money back because it's on their end. And then I got them on through the emails, and I said, this is a server-side issue. I have done this, I've done that, and that's when they finally said, okay, you're probably right, then we're going to bubble it up. And that was it. And every time I'd write back to them, I'm still waiting here. Well, they're working on it. They were working on it for the first 2 months, and after that, I just said, go fuck yourselves. They're not working on it. They're never going to fix it. This happens to people every year. And because it's a small percentage of those people, they can't fix it. They can't fix it because they don't have the intelligence on how to fix it. They are the stupidest development team. And I mean that. Their IQ level, I'll tell you right now, guarantee it. Have them take IQ tests and then match them against other developing companies. And I will promise you they are the dumbest bag of rocks fucking developers in gaming today. They do not have an intelligent person in there. You got Brian Mazik, Unique Mazik, who's going to tell you how to play the game. Douchebag. Yeah, Smooth. Honest to God, if the game comes out next year and it gets rave reviews and somebody's running universe mode and I'm watching it and everything's working for 2 weeks straight and there's no problems with it, I'm still not getting it. I'm still not getting it. There's nothing, zero, that they can do to get me back with 2K. Nothing at all. They can bring back creative story mode. No. Does not matter. As a matter of fact, the more you bring back or introduce, the worse the game's going to be because you can't get the shit to work that you have now that did work last year. And you're going to add new shit to it? Well, we've seen how that turns out. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I'm not insane. I'm stupid sometimes. I might be a slow learner, but I'm not insane. Yeah, primetime, that's all we are is beta testers. To the tune of $150. Let's not forget, they charged us the highest price ever and gave us the shittiest product ever. And they did it their way. Yeah, I've got WCW and WO Revenge, and I did play it a couple of times. And I'm not saying it's a bad game. For me, I need something that's, current, with good graphics and not clunky looking wrestlers and stuff like that. Yeah, Smooth, I know you've had a problem with the whole collar and elbow on every damn thing, and I never noticed it really that much until you mentioned it, and now I can never not see it. And I guess it kind of bugs me now, too. Thanks for that. It's them. And again, that collar and elbow starting has been at least 5 years now, right? I'm so done with them. No, Sean, if you want to dust off 2K17, have at it, buddy. I don't want to deal with anything with 2K. Period. I just don't. I'm so sick of these motherfuckers. Yeah, Miracle, that's a good point. I mean, we're paying the $150 here in the U.S., but you start talking about other countries and their dollars at a different value, that's a lot of fucking money for a game that's worth shit. Well, funny thing there, Smooth, is I've watched, more of the real wrestling nowadays stuff more closely, and I've seen matches that are, 6 minutes in, 8 minutes in, where they do go back to the collar and elbow again. Not like WWE 2K, where everything goes to the collar and elbow. But I have seen them do it later on in the match when you wouldn't normally expect that to happen. Yeah, the whole system reset, infrared, and it didn't do anything. And here's the thing. It's because there is, according to ChatGPT, which I do believe at this point in time because it's the only thing that makes sense, is my account on their end has a corrupt file somehow. Maybe because I was trying to go on community creations in day one or something like that, although more people than me did. Maybe I was just a lucky guy that got in there, and maybe while I was getting into community creations on that first day, there was a glitch, and it fucked up my account. Neither here nor there. That can be fixed if you're not a complete fucking moron and know how to. I don't think they have the staff for it. I don't think they have the brains for it. And I will die on that hill. They are stupid. No, again, it's not Google. It is 100% them. Remember, I'm on the PS5, so Google's not an issue for me. Yeah, I forgot all about the collar and elbow thing because, well, I've turned that option off. So I mean, they'll lock up collar and elbow for every move, but I don't have that initial lock up with the collar and elbow because it got to be so repetitive. Sean, buddy, I appreciate you, but you're just not listening to the words coming out of my mouth. I've told you this at least 20 times now. I don't want to. It's that simple. I'm not having fun. I can't say it any other way, buddy. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not doing it. You can switch to whatever you want. Yeah, Canada paid a lot more for this piece of shit game. Jericho returning to AEW. I didn't give a shit. I just didn't give a shit. He's got nothing to offer. He's too old. There's just nothing he could do. I mean, he'd have his little swan song run, I guess, but for what reason? He's a shell of his old self. Now, you must have misheard me, Sean. I didn't say I was going to go back and do it. I was saying I might dust off like Here Comes the Pain or something like that just to play it, but I'm not going to run a season on it or anything like that. That'd be a game on thing. Miracle, they inherited the game back when it was 2K14. It's over a decade later. It's their game now. And it's 100% their game now because this is the first time ever we're not using last gen. So they had to make all the changes to go current gen only. And that was one of the other deciding factors that made me do it, thinking, okay, this should be a really special experience. And it was. And it is. Nothing like having the CEO coming out to my way after they fucked you for the last 6 months. '07, they had realistic animations for their initial grapple system, like a headlock and arm wringer. Yeah, I do vaguely recall that. I'd have to actually drop the game in and play it again to remember the detail of it all, but it's definitely ringing a bell. All right, John, it's all good. I'm not doing it. I was making a hypothetical statement, not something I was considering doing or that I would consider doing. I'm not. So if I misspoke, I apologize. Yeah, the SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, the Here Comes the Pain, those games were all good. Andrew Roberts, you're the smartest guy in the room right now, brother. It's my boy McCoy. You know I love you, man, but you are part of the problem. I love you, though. Because you're going to buy 27. And you are well within your rights to do so, but might lose just a little respect. That's all I'm saying. The only thing we have left to control in this game is not buying it en masse. And I do believe that's going to be the case. I do believe they're going to take the Mandalorian hit, and I think they're going to go down 70% next year for pre-order and for launch. There may be people, if they can launch a game that works, which they've proven they can't, and there's no reason to believe that they won't again fail. But if somehow, by a miracle, if God comes down and finally takes pity on them or us, or maybe both, and decides he's going to have a hand in the development process, and a game comes out that does not suck balls, which would be a first, then they might get a little uptick after the fact. But I think that initial number is going to be devastatingly low. They're going to lie about it, just like Mandalorian lied. Disney lied about their numbers until they couldn't lie. They launched all these box office numbers for a 4-day weekend and then had to walk it back because they were not accurate. And they keep on putting a spin on it, saying, oh, yeah, well, the production only cost this much, $120 million or $140 million, whatever it was. That's not the that's part of the cost. That's making the movie cost. That doesn't include salary for all those actors. God knows how overpaid Pedro Pascal is for a fucking role that any monkey could do. And the worst, first of all, I would say non-existent CGI. And the worst puppeteering. It's an absolute shit show. And they are going to lose $200 million minimum. And they are finishing behind the Indiana Jones Secret Dial movie, which no one thought was possible. They dropped off in 1 week by 70%, beating the drop-off of Solo. And I'm not talking about the Solo from the WWE. I'm talking about the Star Wars story, Solo, which dropped 64% from week 1 to week 2 on its launch and release. And this game is, I think I put up a, definitely I put it on X. I'm not sure if I put it on our channel or not. A mock-up of the, let me see if I've got it here where I can put it on the screen. Hold on a minute. Should be here somewhere. What's this? Yeah, that's it. Bounce this over here. Nope, that didn't work. Try it a different way. Nope, that's not what I want either. Gosh damn it. What in the blue fuck? Image, that's what I want for, okay. Now where the fuck is it? Damn, payoff's not going to be worth it. There you go. Following in the footsteps. And yes, I know it's misspelled. That's by design. It's broken. That's the whole idea. This game next year is going to do exactly what Mandalorian did. Exactly what Snow White did. It is the same thing. They are not listening to their audience. And by the way, Danhausen's the only good thing, so that's why he's on the cover. He's the only good thing they got, so they got to put him on the cover. You want to know who's cursed? It's either TKO or us. Or maybe both. And that's my prediction for next year. Infrared hasn't bought the game since 2K23. Winning codes every year. I was going to say, how you having problems with the arena then? McCoy, man, the fact that you keep on having to come back to, I make it work. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Why should you have to do that for $150? You tell me it's a $40 game by a startup company? Okay. This is a billion-dollar damn company with an annual title that's mostly copy and paste. Why should we have to make it work? And by the way, I can't. Because Universe is broken beyond repair, and they're not repairing it. That's why I can say that. And I'm not going to have referees doing the damn run-in, fucking up my streams. Just to be ignored, just to have Strauss come out to my way. Fuck this shit. I've said it before. To me, TKO, and 2K specifically, and their development team, I'm Jim Cornette, they're Vince Russo. My goal in life is to piss on their graves. I want to be around to piss on their graves. When that company is dead and out, I will go to their front door and piss on it. Lil Mayo, what's happening there? Should I just stick to 25? Yeah, dude. I bought 26, but have barely played it. A lot of the universe mode option editions, but it's look. If you're into universe mode, then don't mess with it. You're just going to be frustrated. Universe mode is completely fucked, and they've done nothing to fix it. Nothing at all. They'll mention, oh, we did this, we did that. Yeah. The slight little tiny bits of shit that they fixed do not make up for the glaring things. And again, these were not things that were ever a problem in the past. Referees did not do the run-ins. Ever. Ever. So you monkey motherfuckers had to go out of your way to screw that up and still not address it. How hard could it possibly be to reset it to what you had last time? I just can't. Keith, they're already moving them abroad. What are you talking about? WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia. That's about as abroad as it gets. And as far as the WWE, I don't even give a shit about them anymore because, again, it's not WWE anymore. It's TKO, period. But from a branding standpoint, if I want a product that looks good, I would have them stay in Europe. Go country to country. Spend 2 or 3 weeks in each country and then jump to another one. Because those fans know how to fucking be fans, and they're getting a shit sandwich, and they're happy about it. But the shows that I had watched up until I gave up on them a month or so ago, those crowds are fucking horrible. There might be the outlier here and there. Chicago's usually a good city no matter what. As long as Punk makes an appearance, you'll be all right. But other than that, these crowds have been dismal. And I also don't blame them 100% because the shows are horrible. The writing is horrible. The booking is beyond disgusting. And, as I've mentioned in the past, when you're taking 20-minute commercial breaks between matches, I can go to the bathroom, I can go grab a drink, I can make something to eat, do my taxes. You're there live, you're just sitting through snoring. Sucks the life out of the room. I don't know how the UK crowds or the European crowds, I don't know how they do it. How they keep that energy up with that stop and go bullshit. You see, look at that, Blaze. You use this game in a way that's maybe using 30% of its ability, or well, let me rephrase, 30% of what they advertise it can do. You're only using about 30% of it. And you can't even get what you want. You're right. Ramp Camp. How fucking hard should that be? But they did it their way. By the way, did you put Strauss into your federation? I'm just curious. The least you could do. Smooth 2K. Look at it. 2K does not care. They just sent you the CEO to my way. They don't care. That was it wasn't even a subtle message. It was an all-out fuck you. And the reason they're not going to take that time off is money. TKO will never sacrifice that annual release money. You know what? You're right. They probably not only went to the Leering Center, that's probably where they actually do the game developing, because we know there's no actual kids in there. Mayo, to each his own. I've given them a couple of chances over the last several weeks, and every time I flip the channel, pockets. I can't fucking watch that guy. And I don't know how anybody watches that guy. And the things that I've seen don't look any better to me than they've ever looked before. And apparently it's not registering very well, because they're now gone from full arena shows, and I mean full, I was at them, down to maybe 4,000 seats. If they're lucky, and they're on the brink of losing their TV contract. We know that that's coming up in another year, and they're not getting renewed. That'll be the true test of what happens next, because right now they're heading into Billy Corgan territory. And as much as I can't say anything about the WWE and their roster being ancient, AEW is worse. Christian and Edge? Ugh. Gosh damn. Jericho? These are your top performers? Omega? And then you have the WWE. And for the love of God, can we please just end the Vision? What a failed experiment. Braun Breaker's out again, and this looks like a bad injury. The video of him hobbling after the show. This guy is made out of candy or something, man. He gets injured all the fucking time. Bronson Reed still out. Logan Paul, now he ain't coming back for at least 6 months to 8 months. Enough with the Vision. The Vision is it sucks. Oh boy, it gets better, doesn't it? Okay, good point. Ramp Cam works for the WWE arenas, just not the custom ones. All right. Gosh damn, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. What else doesn't work when it comes to custom ones? That they actually from day one gave you a warning sticker. If you use a custom arena, it might not work so good. That lighting might look like shit. You never had that warning in past games. Ever. You also never had that problem in past games. Ever. So you've moved up to current gen only and given us an inferior product for more money. Nobody should be buying this game. It is our chance to say my way to them. It is our chance to give them the middle finger. Look, I'm out. I'm so out. Do a comedy special. Back in the 80s, I did stand up for a little while, but back in the 80s, everybody did stand up for a while, so I'm not sure that's that big a feather in the cap. But to make it in comedy, boy, number one, you got to be super quick. And back then, I was actually pretty quick. I watched Matt Rife a lot, and I tell you what, that boy, I feel like I need to be bowing down, saying, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. That dude is amazing with what he does off the fucking cuff. Yeah, McCoy, they did wrestle back then until they were Social Security, but they wrestled. It was grappling, hip tosses, headlocks, head scissors, couple of slams. It was wrestling. You could do that. You could have longevity. Braun Breaker can't wrestle 3 matches without going on the injured reserve because he's doing stupid shit. Over the top, stupid shit. MLW felt like a wrestling show for me. The 2-hour program they put out last week felt like a wrestling program. Yeah, Backlund, perfect example. Absolute perfect. As a matter of fact, I just sent Jay a link. There's if you go on YouTube and do a search for Eddie Gilbert, the WWE or WWF years, it's like a 4-hour video of when Eddie was a rookie, and there's a lot of him and Kurt Hennig as a rookie teaming up together. But for those of you that are too young to remember, and if any of you do remember, this is time to schedule your colonoscopy. Gilbert was involved very early in his career in a serious car accident. And when he came back, the Masked Superstar was the up-and-coming guy for Bob Backlund's title. And Gilbert's first match back after having this known now neck injury, well, Masked Superstar's finisher was a neck breaker, a corkscrew neck breaker, kind of like Honky Tonks without the shake rattle part. And he hit him with that for the win, and Gilbert's selling the fuck out of the injury to the neck, and now Superstar takes him on the floor and hits him with it on the floor. And they spend the next 20 minutes with medical down there and don't move until we stabilize the neck and all that. And meantime, they try and put on another match in the ring behind them while this is going on the floor, and the doctor's treating him, and McMahon's trying to call the match, but at the same time, we're paying attention to what's happening with Eddie Gilbert. This is the way shit used to be. It was good. And they could wrestle that many years because they just wrestled. He took a freaking corkscrew neckbreaker on the floor. You ain't getting hurt on that. But they all sold it. They pushed the move as being devastating. I can't anymore. I just can't. This move, there's no way they're going to skip next year. They've already talked about it. They've already said that they're starting to work on it. There's no way they're skipping a year. TKO will not allow it. The only way they skip a year is if they don't keep the contract. And that should be something that's being decided this year because they're due for renewal. Mayo, that's exactly right. First time ever that they give you a warning on using a custom arena in the game. Well, what the fuck do you have created an arena for? We're not saying you can't use it, you can't make an arena. We're just saying don't expect it to work. Well, you probably aren't going to hear a lot of me ranting next year because I'm not going to have a dog in the fight. Smooth. They started out really good and innovative back in the day because, wait for it, there was competition. Competition is what makes it great. Backlund doesn't suck, man. He was a tremendous wrestler, okay? He had the personality of a mop, okay? That's unfortunately. But he's also in a different time when, I remember me and my buddies watching him, and we were into high school wrestling at that time, so he was kind of the thing because he was a real wrestler. And that whole, oh boy, golly, I'm going to give my very best effort out there, and all these fans behind me. We were good with it. You didn't have Hulkamania running wild yet, so you didn't have any amped up, roided up guys back then. But his in-ring work is spectacular. He has some great matches. We can get a yellow bus and head over to 2K headquarters. I said we just drive right through the lobby doors, man, and announce ourselves. "2K is the M. Night Shyamalan of gaming. They show so much promise in the beginning and just disappoint later." When I think of M. Night Shyamalan, I do think of his earlier works, and they were good. I'm trying to remember where he jumped the shark. Now, I like The Village. That's what it was called, I think, right? The Village. I know a lot of people didn't. I did. I thought it was a really good movie. The one with the aliens, I can't remember what the hell the name of it is now. That was pretty good. But I do remember he also put out some shit. I just don't remember what it was called now because I might not even watch it because of the reviews it got was so bad. TKO is ruthless. Yeah, they don't care. They just want the money. They do not give a shit. Let me tell you something. If suddenly tomorrow Danhausen wasn't selling merch, he'd be gone. He'd be gone. He's not wrestling. And quite honestly, he's an okay wrestler. But if it weren't for the gimmick and the merch, you think he'd be in the WWE right now? No. He had a track record of selling a lot of merch before he was even on national television. And he had CM Punk in his corner. So that got him in the door. And God bless him. He's made the most of it. But TKO could not give two shits about him tomorrow if suddenly he was dropping 80% in merch sales. Anthony, how's it going, brother? No, dude, I'm tapped out. I had actually thought about that at one point in time, but I made a huge mistake. That was, I think, 24, if I'm not mistaken. I thought before the servers went down that I'd gone back and re-downloaded my characters, and I didn't. So I would literally have to go and redo all those characters again, and I ain't doing it. Especially for a game that's not even happening anymore. Oh, Blade, I mean, the problem has been obvious. And as all these other ones fall to the wayside, it just makes it worse. They can get as lazy as they want to because you have no fucking choice other than to walk away. The walk away movement of video games. Morocco was good. Morocco was really good. And he and Backlund had some really good matches. Really good matches. But Backlund was a great wrestler. He really was. For my money. brother, I wouldn't take it for free. I appreciate the thought and the offer. I wouldn't take it for free. I don't want nothing to do with this company ever again. They've taken all the fun out of it for me. That's why I'm not doing anything anymore. It's like now, looking at this screen in front of me, I have no desire to go any further. I don't want to play a match. I don't want to go to universe mode. Don't give a fuck about ringside pass. I did enough matches just to unlock the shit I paid for. I ain't worried about making it to level 40 to get another Brock Lesnar that I don't need. I can do whatever they've got there in Brock Lesnar, I can make with the ones I got. Same thing with Kane. I can make that shit. They might have a different theme song, and I think AJ Styles' theme song is in the ringside pass, I think, at some point in time, somebody was saying. And I wouldn't mind having the theme song, but is that right? I can't remember which channel I was watching, because I didn't remember seeing it, and I don't know if that's under premium or free. AJ Styles. Let me check down here. Lost My Mind Island World Taunt. I did kind of think that was funny. The La Parka LWO mask. AJ Styles. That's a nice looking wallpaper, but I don't do anything with my ride or what you may call it there. My faction, so it doesn't really matter to me. La Parka logo. More NWO stuff. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The My Faction points will come in handy, I suppose. I ended up getting the Booker T because it's a whole different Booker T. And eventually I'll get the John Cena with Thugonomics, and I'll probably get the Warrior without the face paint, but I'm waiting because they'll go down in price eventually. So I'm in no rush because I ain't doing anything with the game. Let me see. Pillman logo. What's that? Okay. Island, Flair, Chalkline. I don't know. I had heard something about the AJ Styles theme song, but you had to unlock it here. I thought it was here. Unless they're talking about island shit, and I'm not doing the island, so fuck that. If that's where it's at, then I'm not getting it. Create an entrance for free, but I thought you had to unlock it, is what somebody was saying. Is that not true? I mean, I can go check that out, I guess. Extreme Series Deluxe. Everybody's loving the Rey Mysterio alternative where he's not supposed to have a mask on. And keep in mind, because they fucked me over, unlocking all this shit, I'd have to do it twice. I'd have to do it on my main account and on this account. What was this? Attribute bundle? Man. I mean, between the VC and the MFP, that's the only real... Oh, my goodness. The only real takeaway from this at all, and I guess the RXP, I like the way it went from 150 down to 50, and instead of an hour, it's 30 minutes. Again, they keep taking away. They're not giving us anything other than maybe an ulcer. I guess maybe it is already in there. Let's go to look. Entrance. AJ Styles. We'll go with, which one is this? 16. We'll go with 16. Is it Lone Wolf? Let me see if there's anything that says Evil Ways. I don't see anything for Evil Ways. I don't recognize this particular song. Was this TNA? Oh, that's it? Lone Wolf? Wasn't what I was expecting. I was thinking it was the one that we got with the you are, I am. That's the one I prefer. I remember that one vividly. I don't remember that one. But I might not have been watching the product at that point in time, too, because they went through an era where I was kind of like, nah, I'm good here, too. It's going to have to wait. Do you have any suggestions for building a universe mode roster? I was thinking either a golden era, or attitude era, universe mode. My experience is real simple. Whatever most excites me about continuing it on, like as I'm looking at this right now and I see a spade there, and I got the guy who made these things made some absolutely amazing renders. Normally I get rid of these renders because it just takes up slots, but these are so well done that they look like they belong in the video game. And I've got, let's go back over here, pretty much the entire cast in there now. We got Apocalypse over there, and I had a lot of plans for this. There's a big Jim Kitchen, Bob Wire. I'm not sure about that one. Same guy made that, and I don't recall seeing this particular character in the show at all, but this might just be some other random, or maybe that's him. Bobby Pin looks great. He did a good job on all of these. I made a couple of tweaks here and there on a couple of them, but for the most part, like this is mine. I made Charlie Gully myself. The Condemned, that's my version of him, but I took the original build that he did to make it. Crystal Tyler, I did a lot of work to her face, but that's his creation. And again, look at that render. It's perfect. The Dad, I had just made one, and then he finally got around to making one himself, and I liked his better, so oh well, it happens. But anyway, I had thought about, there's a Diego Cottonmouth up there. I had thought about, we got El Dorado. I keep on stopping myself, I know. The Hole. God. When I heard them call him that during the show, it's like, it's the Hole. I'm like, God damn. All I can think of is Nia Jax. My hole. I had plans for Gilbert too, but that's not going to happen. Who else do we have here? The Noid, that's one of mine. I did like that mask. I bought the mask. Lucifer's another one from the show. Renegade's an original creation. I think I uploaded it as well because this was on the, this is on the account that I can actually get onto community services. But now I can actually import logos to this account as well, so I might do a little more work on his attire. Everything here, we can take a quick look at him. My shoulder's been acting up. Oh, entrances, sorry. So everything on this character right now, as it's uploaded, was all made in-game using the editor. So creating logos here within the game itself. So I can definitely tweak out that Renegade logo across the midriff area and get a much better one now. Then I'll probably get around to doing that eventually. But everything here was done in-game without importing anything, because back then I wasn't able to. But again, that's changed now where I can. So if you're looking for Renegade, he's up. And if you wait, he'll be better eventually. I don't know when that'll be exactly, but yeah, I don't recall that song for AJ and TNA at all. But then again, I probably wasn't watching it at that point. Infrared, you're going to have to catch me up. I don't remember him ever being blackballed from TNA. I know he left and went to Japan. But when or why would he have been blackballed? I've never heard that story. Dookie Wilco's in the house. Doing good, brother. How you doing? Yep, Rooster's in there as well. We can finish the roster up here. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Go to the men's division here. Picked this one up the other day. Did a really good job on this. We'll take a quick look at it. Probably got to get rid of Tony Atlas. I don't think I'm having any use for him. Excuse me. Dude did a really solid job on this. And I always liked the American Badass thing. Got Wild Bill down there. Oh, that's a, we're moving our way back up. There's Rooster. Oh, yeah, Ricky Rabies is there. And I think that's the rest we've already seen. So anyway, I had a pretty good roster put together. I had some plans. I still may end up doing something with regards to the heels thing, because I do have it all mapped out. I've got storylines for 8 episodes. And yeah, like I said, getting the AI is not going to be that cheap. It's going to be a couple $100 to do the filler scenes that would be needed to make it work and to make it worthwhile. I can do a lot of the other stuff with 2K, and even that's through heavy editing. So I may do a separate post. I was going to, and then I kind of turned my back on it because everything just got so turned off. But I might do a separate post. It'll be up to the community. If you guys want to contribute, then I might be doing that. But I'm not paying $200. I'm just not doing it. I've spent a lot of money over the years. I've never asked for anything in return. But this would have to be a community project. So if people are willing, I put out a casting call for voices. Not one. Well, one person finally did come forward and offering, but I was looking for like 8 or 9, and nobody came forward. So I'm not doing it on my own. Otherwise, it'd just be a project for me myself. And I've already got the script, and I can see it in my head how it would go. I don't need to spend all the time and energy and editing and all that kind of stuff if everybody's not involved in it. So. Iron Mike Sharp. Yeah, dude that made Iron Mike Sharp did a really good job on that, too. And I'm not even sure. It could have been Honcho. I feel like it probably was. He traditionally does this kind of stuff. pretty good face scan. Got the hair there. Yeah. He's got that injury to his arm that he's still dealing with. And Dixie Carter wanted the founder of their friggin' division, if not their answer to Sting at that time was AJ Styles, and they wanted him to take a pay cut? That dumb bitch, I'll tell you what, man. That's why she gets booed when she shows up at TNA events today. Because smart people know she's the reason they're still performing in front of smaller crowds. She buried that company. Yeah, I see Atlas as probably being a cool guy if you meet him. Atlas just won the ISPW championship. Wait a minute. Is that like a E-Fed, or are we talking about like he actually wrestled somewhere? Anthony, nobody knows what happened to Ultra Pro. Sam's gone silent. Radio silent. He ain't talking to nobody. He ain't posted nothing. Not a word. Even Jay's been reaching out to him because Jay paid a lot more money on the Kickstarter than I did. I paid the $20 minimum because I don't trust none of you motherfuckers when it comes to that shit. Although I did believe he was going to put out a game. I did believe that. But I don't believe it anymore. And shortly after his Kickstarter not only hit the goal but exceeded the goal was when AEW went to UK that first time. And there he is, like 5 rows back, across from the hard cam, with the UPW championship on his shoulder. I was like, oh, maybe that's where all the money's going to. He's got his little championship belt. He's got 5th row seats. Probably bought a hotel room, maybe rented a car, you know. And now he's not answering nobody. So. No, prime time, it's cool. Don't, because if I do the video and you want to, that's fine. But as of right now, I'm still not moving in that direction. I'm just thinking about it. And like I said, when I see these things up here, it kind of makes me think of what could be. Yeah, I looked at Brian Pillman. Yeah, I don't know. Which one am I on? Oh, that's right. Never mind. So I gave him his NWA gear. He looks better than he did in the preview trailers, and that they tend to do that a lot. The preview trailers looked pretty rough, and now that he's here, the hair looks a lot better than it did in the previews. The eyes still look very painted in. They don't have, I don't know what it is. I think the white's just too white and very flat looking to me. But I think the rest of it's actually pretty good. Definitely better than the previews looked. And again, with the entrance gear, everything, so far as the logos and stuff, I made it with the stuff that they give us here in the game. And now I'm noticing that little blurring on the side. So what I might do, since we're here, is go in and tweak that out a little bit. Yeah, I got to get going here. These boys are waiting on me. Placement. Oop. Yeah, it's about right. But I made the whole design. Got a still photo of him from a video and just made the design with the stuff that's in the game. And there we got it. Jeff Jarrett did better than Dixie Carter. That's saying something, isn't it? Tony Atlas actually wrestled. Good Lord. God bless, man. He wasn't all that mobile when he was, like Saba Zimba, and he still had a little juice left in the tank. I can't imagine how he's lumbering around the ring. A 60% pay cut after Hogan and Bischoff let the company join. Okay. So this was after the Hogan and Bischoff debacle. A 60% pay cut to your fucking franchise player. Tony Atlas is in there with Mike Jackson, wrestling in his 70s. I looked at Tori the other day. Honestly, dude, I don't have many memories of Tori. She was one of those people I would flip the channel or I'd go do something. It wasn't like she was ever going to be guilty of having a good match. And I think the only storyline she ever did was what was the one with somebody else's dad or something like that? Was that her in that angle? I don't even remember whose dad it was supposed to be. That was when they were just really, that was when they were scraping the bottom of the barrel and they were getting really close to the Katie Vick storyline. Yeah, Primetime, I was going to make a Hollywood Blondes version of Pillman because it wouldn't be all that hard to do. But then I was like, but I don't have an Austin to do it with unless you got to go from scratch, which, no, I'm not feeling that. The artist returns. That's exactly what I said. Word for word, exactly what I said. Especially using the theme song My Way. I mean, it was the absolute middle finger. We've got 22 votes in, which is pretty good for this. And 73% are not getting it, is the official on the poll. And what did I say at the beginning? I predict next year's launch and pre-order will be down 70%, just like The Mandalorian. And I think they're going to lose their ass next year. Can't wait. It wouldn't be all that hard. And I'm sure if you go on Community Creation, somebody's already made the Horseman gear and all that. They're going to have all that stuff. They probably got the Hollywood Blondes up there as well. Oh, you trying to be respectful when you say no to 27. I'm not being respectful at all. I'm telling them to go shove it up their ass sideways. I don't give respect if I don't get it. Tony Atlas and Johnson, they were not a bad tag team, although, now as time has gone by and we've heard Rocky wasn't really a fan of being in the tag team, didn't care for Tony that much. Dawn Marie's dad, that's who it was. I never would have got that. Thank you. Her and Dawn Marie. Oh, yeah, it was Dawn Marie going after her dad or something. Okay, I knew it had something to do with that shit. Al Wilson, the actor playing the role of a berserker in the game. Man, I never liked him at all. Didn't care. It was a Bruiser Brody, Hacksaw Duggan ripoff. No one had the talent the Berserker did. All right. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. Yeah, the Hogan experiment. Again, Hogan did not mess up TNA. Dixie Carter messed up TNA. She brought Hogan in. She paid him all that money because she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Oh, that was her real life father? I thought that was the assumption, and then somebody came out saying it was an actor playing the role. Yeah, I remember the dying due to excessive marital relations. That was funny as shit. I was told during a shoot interview, as a matter of fact, it might have been a Conrad one, where they said it was an actor playing that role. That was her real life father. Okay, well, I heard wrong then. Or they gave me bad information, one or the other. I wish I could remember which one. It was a while back, too, that I heard it. Okay, man, now I know you're just pulling my leg, but that's all right. Yeah, Kevin, the Huss thing was annoying, almost as bad as Bill Alfonso's whistle. So, all right, I do got to get going. So much for my 20-minute prediction. Hour and 36 minutes. It's all your fault. Do what you got to do. I'm just telling you right now, in no way, shape, or form am I ever going to give 2K another dollar of my money. They can go fuck themselves. I am never, ever going to do it again. They need to go bankrupt. That's the only thing that at this point in time will bring me any satisfaction when it comes to this purchase this year alone, much less the history we've all had to tolerate. All right. With that in mind, remember, find time every day to say the two magic words.
Okay! Game on! Game on!
Game on!
Game on! Game on!
Game on!
Game on!
Game on!
Yeah, game on!
Lights burning like so wild. Twisted in hair like a reckless child. Our keep buzzing electric fire. Chasing scores higher, higher,